Yeah, just doing a little bear direction here because they are both hungry. And when they're both hungry, everybody wants a seat at the dinner table. I'm sure at home you all have hungry families, hungry kids or grandkids, and sometimes there's a little squabbling when say, hey, I want those mashed potatoes. Give me that last hot dog, whatever. And we're trying to get a weight on one of the bears, and I'm not going to call their name because they do know their name. And I'm trying to be a little quiet right now, and I'll raise my voice once we get a weight on a bear. So I don't want to call that bear's name who's on the scale, but it is our male bear. He's 12 years old, and so I'll tell you a little bit about him when he gets off the scale. They're doing an interesting thing here. We're trying to weigh a bear during a broadcast. We don't always do that, but it is something very interesting to see, and our fall interns are learning how to do multiple things at one time. A lot of times people think managing bears is easy. Well, it's not. It's not really easy. They do know their names, but they don't necessarily listen. And it looks like, now I will mention his name. That was a 12-year-old male bear, Lucky. He is over there to the right with a cube. We call it a cube. And Holly, which is the one on the left, as you look out over the pond, we've given her what we call a donut. Because, well, it's round, like a donut. It is made of hard plastic. And if you watch carefully, they have a few holes in them, and they have to work hard to get the treats out. Now, you think, why don't you just give them the food? If you want to give them food, just give them food. I mean, why are you making it so hard? I mean, you don't have to go to all that work. Well, in captive environments, any captive environment and basically any animal, you need to keep them very physically healthy, of course, but you need to keep them mentally stimulated as well. And in the wild, both of these bears would have to forage for food, which would mean they'd have to go around the forest floor looking for berries, nuts, maybe immature bee and ant larvae, blueberries, raspberries, pin cherries, choke cherries, ryegrass, a rotten log that may have an ant colony in it. So they'd have to work for their food. So that's what they have to do here as well. Now, I know they want to call, they're trying to get our female, Holly, on that three-sided box. She does hear them. They do know their name, but she's ignoring them until she is done with what she wants to do. Keep in mind, we are on bear time here. And what do I mean by bear time? I'm not talking about the clock on the wall. I'm talking about getting a bear to do what we want them to do when we want them to do it. It really is a great exercise in patience. As a caregiver, patience is key to being successful in the captive environment. And Holly is thinking now, maybe I'll go on that scale now. And she is a very impatient bear. So we always watch her because she is really impatient. And she lets us know when she's not happy. So with that said, I think someone may have just gotten zapped, and it might have been a human. Oh, thank you. I just heard that there was no one inside to get the weight. And so that intern didn't run because she got zapped by the fence. That was no. She ran inside because we get the weight on the inside of the building. But that leads me to a story about getting zapped by our electric fence. Well, those of you here at the Bear Center, and I know online too, you can see that dark, or it's actually black, thin line, and it is around the scale. And that is an electric wire, and so if a bear touches it, they'll get zapped, and I thought that intern may have gotten zapped. I was incorrect with that because it does startle you. We can turn that fence on and off. And when we are down there, you'd probably think it would be on, but it's off. And when we work with the bears don't know if it's on or off. Now, the best thing to do right now would be try to get Lucky away from Holly, because Lucky is going to antagonize her a little bit. She's got her ears back and she's making some noise. So we're going to say, Lucky. He heard me say that. Yep. And it gave her a little room. Now she wants off the scale, but she wants to have her space. Now, actually, what she didn't like, you're getting so much bear behavior in this broadcast, I just can't tell you how much behavior you're getting. When Holly turned around and wanted to get off the scale, Lucky was too close for her comfort. He was in her space. So she put her ears back, and she made a long nose at him, and I think she did vocalize, although I'm not sure. I think she did, telling him, back off. And it looked like that wasn't going to work, so I called his name, which we don't want to do, but he does know my voice. I didn't use the N-O word, and I only say N-O because we don't use that word unless we are really, really serious. So I don't want to use the N-O word. Yep, we got everybody some treats here, and we have a great group of fall interns here, one bear educator volunteer here today, and actually 1 week old. Today we've got a UK intern here, and we've got one from Northern Michigan State. All our fall interns, 2 of them are from the UK, and 1 of them is from Michigan. They all are graduates with their bachelor's degree in biology, and one of the things that they need for the type of fields they want to go in is what we call hands-on experience, actually working in a captive environment with large mammals, learning what it takes to take care of 4 bears. And many people think it's just, well, go feed the bears and that's it, but it's far more than that. It's diet, it's nutrition, weighing the bears as you just saw, making dietary adjustments, learning bear language, learning behavior, and learning what these 2 bears have said to each other since I've been talking. So this particular broadcast this afternoon is a little bit been more unique than some of our others, but it was clearly very heavy on bear language and bear behavior between these 2 bears. But I'll just give you a brief information about our 2 bears. Lucky is the larger of the 2, and he's now moving toward the left. He is our 12-year-old male, and he would be about average size for a 12-year-old male bear. He's heading to the left and just going to cruise around looking for some more treats. And of the 2 bears out right now, he would be the most likely to go in the pond. That's not to say he's going to, but I'm standing here up on the observation deck, and I have to say it has gotten a little warm today with the sun coming out. Holly is on the far right yet, the smaller of the 2. She's our 6-year-old female, and she's the oldest female we have here. And when I say the oldest female, that is important in the black bear world. Being the oldest female here, which means she runs the show. So she was actually telling Lucky off when she felt cornered on the scale. And as you noticed, finally Lucky deferred. She would have given him a swat had he not deferred. And now he's going to probably give her a wide berth. No, he's actually going to go after and say that he was unhappy with her. And she also says she's unhappy with him, but guess who's walking away? He is. He opened his big mouth and said, "Ba, ba, ba, ba," and she said, "Ba, ba, 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 back." And I'm just impersonating, by the way. I hope you understand that. But who walked away first? The bigger bear. She just said, "I'm eating my treats here, and you leave me alone." So that's the way it is in the black bear world, and I couldn't make and have a better demonstration for you than what you just saw. I want to thank you all for coming here to the Bear Center today, and this is our 1230 Worldwide podcast, and you can view these bears online at www.bear.org. Anytime you want, they're on 24/7, and all you need is to get on the bear.org, our website. It's all free, and we have a lot of black bear information on it as well. Our cameras are watch live, just a drop-down menu, and you can see all the action here in the pond anytime you want. Your wristbands are good here all day until 6 o'clock, and it also gives you $1 off the International Wolf Center. The Wolf Center has a pack of wolves and educate about wolves the way we do about black bears. And once again, I really want to thank all of you here visiting the Bear Center. We are a nonprofit organization and get zero funding from any governmental agency. The way we get the word out, you can help us with that, is go on TripAdvisor and give us your thoughts. Give us some comments about your visit here today at the Bear Center so other people can realize that we are a great place to learn about black bears. Our next program will be at 1 o'clock, and thank you for joining us. And I also want to thank all our online listeners who help every day tirelessly with our programs and our cameras and our moderating, our family-friendly chat room, which is embedded in bear.org. Once again, thank you very much. And our next Worldwide podcast will be at 4:30. That is our Black Bear Dinner Time program. Thank you very much.